Yeah.
In honor of 9/11, we're going to take a brief moment to remember, obviously, one of the most tragic moments in our nation's history. So we're going to give you a 60-second moment of silence, and then we're going to break back in with the regular programming. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Never forget.
Yeah. Miami. South Beach. Heat. Can y'all feel that?
We don't have the rights to this.
Miami,
Don't turn it set.
Miami,
Yes,
the
enjoy the
place
appreciation
like a
page.
Mardi Gras. Everybody party all day, no work, all play, okay? So we sip a little something, leave the rest to spill. Me and Johnny at the bar, running up a hot bill, nothing left.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of September 11th, 2022. I am Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John. And it is Wrestling Sunday. Luke, how was your Sunday, sir?
Fantastic. Glad to be here. Tired.
A
We're definitely
a
shooting
man
it-
of many words.
We're definitely shooting this on Sunday.
It is definitely a Sunday today. Max Fury, how was your Sunday?
Exhausting.
Exhausting. He's exhausted.
Why are you exhausted?
It's been a long week.
Has it?
It's been a long week. I went to Saskatchewan to visit Brock Lesnar,
Uh-huh.
but he wasn't there. Man, it's a wasted trip.
Didn't you say you went to some kind of museum over the weekend?
Yeah, I went to the Air and Space Museum, actually.
How was that?
There was nothing there.
Big Bad John, how's your Sunday? Well, as you can see, everyone here is just feeling great, and we are full of energy.
I
But
can tell.
we have a show to do, and that's why we're here.
This is
To
why we're
do
here.
said show.
This show.
Don't know how entertaining it's going to be, but let's kick right into business. Our top story of the week, Randy Orton, getting primed for his tentative return right around Rumble season, looking like a full-grown fucking werewolf.
I knew that he watched the show, but I didn't know he was trying to take grooming tips from me.
I've never seen Randy Orton with long hair, with any type of hair longer than a fade before.
Well, you see, Randy Orton grew his hair out long, so I felt that to not confuse the people, that I would color my hair a different color,
because you look so much alike.
so I wouldn't be confused again in public. I don't know why he finds that funny. This is a legitimate thing.
You're right. You just walk through the
People
streets
are always like, "Hey, it's that guy that looks like Stone Cold." I'm like, "Yeah, Randy Orton." I get it all the time.
You're useless.
Only sometimes.
I love it. No, he's looking good. Obviously, he was on the injured list for a hot minute. Waiting on him to make his return right around Rumble season. Hopefully win the Royal Rumble. Then Cody Rhodes can win the Elimination Chamber, or whatever variation they want to do, and have Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, at WrestleMania. Or Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I don't care.
So, question for you: when it comes to Elimination Chamber, a little off topic, do they just do War Games now?
No, because you can't do War Games without William Regal there to scream it.
Well, but here's the deal: they can show that in a package, like from the past.
Yeah.
I mean, but seriously, I mean, we now have Cody Rhodes. What
Yeah.
better way than have
Then
him
have
win
War
War Games?
No, I'm down with that.
Put a top on the cage, quit being all NXT about it, and let's do War
Being
Games.
all NXT about it. No better words have ever been said.
Yeah, you're right. Not on this broadcast.
But being all NXT. All right, so yeah, Randy Orton's looking fit. Got a head full of long hair, making his return, making his way downtown, walking fast, faces past his homebound.
We don't own the rights to that.
We don't own the rights to that. All right, next story. Good Lord. Stone Cold Steve Austin is being inducted into the International Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is probably the
Highest
most,
drawing superstar in professional
I was
wrestling.
about to say the most money-making guy there is when it comes to our business. Now going international with the Hall of Fame, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
When it comes to, I mean, we all have our national Hall of Fames, our wrestling Hall of Fames here in the States, and then of course the big one, the mother of all Hall of Fames, the WWE Hall of Fame.
Or the actual Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well, that's what I'm
of
saying.
St.
There's
Louis.
there's so many.
Yeah.
But when it comes to international, the U.S. isn't really tapped a lot.
No,
for-
not unless you're. I mean, not unless you're one of the really top major stars.
Or one of the major stars that have wrestled abroad like that.
Yeah, Bruno's in it. I think Flair's in it. Actually, no, I don't think Flair's been inducted into it yet.
I don't think he has.
So it is a huge honor, and obviously, Stone Cold Steve Austin, fully worthy. One of the greatest superstars of all time.
Of all time.
Highest drawing money guy. What up, nerd, with your nerd hair? He literally was the reason the WWE was able to go corporate
Yeah.
and put themselves on the open market. So it's well deserved. Well deserved.
Him along with Bret Hart made Vince McMahon the biggest villain in professional wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Stone Cold being the spoil to that villain. Every week back then, it didn't matter what buildings they were in. Back then they were still doing college campuses
Yeah.
and stuff for Raw. When that glass broke, you knew it was someone's ass.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is Jericho's really now the modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin, being able to reinvent
In a way,
himself
yeah.
and still make it work. Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, being Stunning Steve in WCW, was at one time pitched to be the head
WCW
heel,
Heavyweight champion.
and didn't get that. Ended up getting thrown into a tag match with Brian
Brian
Pillman,
Pillman.
then blowing his knee, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, very, very, very deserving, and congratulations to you.
Absolutely. We congratulate you, sir, because you watch our show religiously, just like
Right.
everyone else.
That's right.
What do we got next, Big Bad John?
Well, you know you're gonna have to cut your hair here soon, and people are gonna start thinking you're carrying cross.
We do look so much alike. So it looks like Bradley Cooper may be getting tapped to play Ric Flair in a biopic.
That would be great. Well, here's the deal: we were gonna have a giant biopic
Yeah.
with Vince McMahon and Netflix,
Yeah.
and that deal, of course, fell through because Vince McMahon
Got
spent
it.
all the money.
Yeah. We got the Chris Hemsworth Hulk Hogan biopic coming.
Which is coming. Yes,
We've got the Von Erich biopic starring Zac Efron as
Zac
one of the
Efron.
Von Erichs.
We have, of course, the Young Rock show that while isn't exactly what you would call a biopic, it does have a little bit of a legitimate
Right.
truth
There's
to it.
there's some
And
there's
then,
obvious creative license with the history.
then, of course, you have the new series that Vice is working on. That's going to be kind of a bio series on different wrestlers every week. They haven't started it yet. That'll be good. Bradley Cooper, I think, would make a perfect Ric Flair.
Okay, so then who do you cast as Dusty?
Jonah Hill,
Really, Jonah Hill is Dusty. I don't hate it, actually.
or the dude that does the snowman in Frozen, Josh Gad.
Josh Gad. Josh Gad is Dusty. I like that. I like Josh Gad as Dusty Rhodes. I'm down with that. All right. What about if you're okay? Bradley Cooper's Rick. What about the rest of the Horsemen? What are the original Horsemen?
Original Horseman.
Original Horsemen. So Ole, Arn, and Tully.
Well, Arn's got to be Nick Offerman. It's just important.
Oh wow!
It's just
Absolutely.
important.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
Up off the wall for Dusty that someone's actually on my birthday list. You might
Okay.
not know by name. John Bradley played most notably probably from the Game of Thrones. Played Sam.
Sam. Oh yeah, Sam was Sam Tarley. John
He
Bradley.
was actually a really, really good actor.
Yeah. I could see him playing Dusty Rhodes all day.
Ole Anderson, Tom Cruise,
Oh come on!
in the makeup from Tropic Thunder. Lex Grossman.
There you go.
That's what you
Lex
cast.
Grossman. Tully Blanchard.
Tully, he ain't doing nothing.
Leonardo DiCaprio was Tully Blanchard. Young Tully Blanchard.
Young Tully.
I'm down with that. So yeah, anyway, Bradley Cooper's going to be playing Ric Flair in a biopic. Hopefully, we'll get some more information as that comes down the pipe.
It'll be interesting to see where exactly they go. I mean, Macho Man could always be played by Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I mean, Why not? We get Vin Diesel to come in and play the ring post.
Had to pay him $40 million.
Well, I mean, that's more than what he would do for being Groot.
Oh, that's way less than what he makes playing Groot.
No, I mean, less work.
Oh, yeah, true. He's got a seat.
Just stand there. Hold on to some ropes.
Be the ropes, man. Be the ropes. All right, what do we got next?
Show's going so well.
Hey, Eddie Kingston pulled off the road from AEW because he has contracted COVID again.
Dude, when is Eddie Kingston going to get a break?
Every single time he starts to get some momentum, especially now like the COVID period, either someone he knows gets infected, so he quarantines, or he gets it, so he's out.
Or he has to slap around Sammy Guevara.
Or he has to slap Sammy Guevara in the face. That also happens occasionally.
Well, here's the deal. Every time I tune into AEW and I see Sammy Guevara, I'm compelled to slap him in the face.
Yeah,
So-
you know what? It's not like he did anybody a major disservice.
Right. I mean, it's not like Sammy's really worse anything, but
Right.
I've upset myself thinking about Sammy.
Oh, you better perk up. We got a whole show to do. Yeah, Kingston off the road obviously sucks, but
Actually, you got to be careful. Sammy Guevara could be champion before this is over with.
bullshit they put that belt on Sammy Guevara. Bullshit. Ain't no way. They put the belt on Danielson, number one. They had better.
Dude, here's the deal. If John Moxley loses to Sammy Guevara, I give a fuck about the rest of it. For real.
No,
I
you're
give a
right.
fuck about the rest of the tournament. I want to see Daniel Bryan and Moxley in the final.
Yeah.
That's where the money is. Jericho, I love Chris Jericho. That's not how that works.
Not at all.
Eddie Kingston, God love you, man. Get better.
Get better
And
so we
quit
can watch you
smacking
wrestling.
people
And quit
like-
beating people up.
Well, quit picking on little Sammy. He said that you were fat. We get it. I'm a fat guy. He just said I was fat. I might have slapped him too, though. So I can't really say much.
I've got to check something. Keep talking.
You keep checking your stuff and things.
Let's take a minute to remind everybody that last week we started cutting videos to release throughout the week.
Yes, last week we cut a Wednesday night wild card and a Fantasy Friday night where there was a tournament where there was a contest to determine free entries into the bucket for the merchandise.
Yep.
So far, we got a winner for that.
Yeah.
A very solidary winner for that, which Wolfie will be getting entered into the
yeah.
another name into the thing, which is great. Congratulations. Thank you for watching those. The videos are doing well. They are canned videos, though. I want to reiterate this. This week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're going to get canned material
Yes.
that will not be live. For any, if you want to comment or any issues or anything like that, please write it in the comments of the videos.
But also,
that way
if
we
you
know.
have like a conversation piece that you want us to talk about, we can absolutely do that in the canned videos, so you can make those submissions, and that's something we can fully dedicate to a topic that you guys want to hear about.
Yes. We are going to drop 3 videos this week, Monday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night, before the 3 big shows of the week.
Smart. Look at us. We're great at marketing.
Jump on, watch, mute the TV. Nothing you see on the TV is going to matter.
That's not even cool anymore.
No,
cool.
no, we tell you what you see.
If you want to go on YouTube on your TV and put us on your TV, you know.
Which is possible.
Then
Yeah,
make
put
sure
them
the
on your
thumbs up.
phone. They like being
But
on the
once it's
phone.
us, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Also, remember that if while you're watching us on the big screen and the wrestling on the little screen, that you could also get on your tablet.
And check us out over at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. You can follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. And you can also check out streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our merch store. And in the merch, you have to do it with me. Merch store! Thank you very much. In the merch store, you can find a number of items that we have anagrammed with our logos and some with our faces on them. We've got koozies right now. We've got sneakers. We've got yoga pants. They took away our backpacks. We do have fanny packs. And also, we've got the limited edition Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini with our faces on the top, my face on the bottom. And that's just a fun little item that we have managed to already sell a couple of. And I don't know how, but thank you so much. Every single dollar that you spend buying is a name in the entry to win for the free drawing at the end of the month. If you donate, every single dollar is also another entry. So we appreciate your patronage. We appreciate your support. Everything you spend goes back into the show here. We don't spend a dime on anything else other than equipment, software, editing, blah, blah, blah. We don't
I
take
just want you guys to know that I support us so much that I'm one of those people that bought that bikini.
Are you going to you have to model it live on the air. You know that, right?
If somebody wants to
How
buy
much
me one,
did you? How much did you spend for the?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You're telling me that if somebody buys you that bikini, you'll model it live on
shit.
air. Is that what you just said to
That is
our
not- no,
to our
no,
viewers
no.
at home?
That's exactly what he said.
All right.
Someone buy it
All right.
and
Yes.
and get in the comments.
He's a nice
Fucking
ball.
game on. Bet.
We're gonna have to probably have some alterations made.
We'll only be able to show you the top half.
You're only gonna see Caleb's nose.
All right. So, yes, please check out the social medias. Check out the website. Check out the merchandise. Thank you for your support. Let's keep this show a-rolling.
We don't have the red side either.
We do
Oh,
not.
for fuck's sake.
So, CM Punk is on the injured list, out for up to the scuttlebutt is 10 months due to either a torn pec or a torn bicep.
Here's the deal. If he wouldn't have been eating that cake, he would have never tore his bicep.
If he'd have been eating protein bars instead.
Right?
I mean, so the obvious idea is all this scuttlebutt, all the craziness in the back at AEW is to cover up the fact that Punk was injured because they didn't want to take him off TV again with an injury again and have him another interim world champion again. So they needed a long-term plan. So the conversation right now is if it wasn't legitimate and it was a work, that was why. We don't know. We don't care. We're just covering the news.
Yes.
I think it's entertaining regardless because Ace Steel bit a guy.
He
Ace
legitimately.
Steel bit a human being who was trying to save a dog. Kenny Omega didn't get bit by the dog. He got bit by the person. That's why you should put the belt on Ace Steel.
Is that your vote for the
That's my
champion?
vote. Put all of the belts. Make him Trios champion. Make him TNT champion. Make him World champion. Give him all 4 Ring of Honor titles. Give him a new belt. Tony Khan has to take his belt off and give it to him. All the belts for Ace Steel.
That's it. That's the thing. Jericho's gonna get hurt again,
Yeah.
and the main event of the
It's
tournament is gonna be Ace
Steel.
Steel. Yeah, and Sammy Guevara. That's what's gonna
Sammy
happen.
Guevara is not.
If
going
Sammy
to do
Guevara beats Ace Steel and gets away without teeth marks on him, I'll be shocked.
that. That needs to be his finish. The bite of doom.
I like that.
All right, what do we got next?
Oh boy.
Cody Rhodes tweet after all the drama breaks out. It was only up for a little bit before he deleted it. But Cody Rhodes tweets out, and people wonder why I left. Eyeball emoji. No, we don't. We know why you left.
No, we know exactly why you
for
left.
the money, which
Yeah.
ain't nobody mad about, Cody.
Which here's the deal: if Vince McMahon or whoever, well, not Vince McMahon, he ain't giving money to
Hey,
anybody.
welcome, Rob. Welcome.
Welcome, Rob. If Triple H is giving out money to people
take some.
here's the deal: this seat to be empty next week.
Yeah, bro.
Just saying.
Bye, Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Where'd Caleb Luke go? Let's make that Triple H money.
It would now be WWE's Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
Yeah. You can find us on the network.
Right?
They won't let
No,
us-
you couldn't.
No,
They'd
you
never be able to
couldn't.
put
They
us
never
on the
let us
network.
No, we get fired. We get fired early and quick.
But Cody Rhodes throwing some shade.
Throwing some shade, and obviously has, to his credit, kept relatively silent. Well, of course, even though Brandy Rhodes tweeted too about how she's been too fucking nice for far too long, and so obviously we know there was some dissension when they left. We know there were some problems backstage, and we know that Omega and the Bucks were pretty integral to all that.
Yeah.
So it's either we can paint Punk as the bad guy, or we can acknowledge that the other 3 are problematic in their own way, and that maybe there is more to this story than just Punk getting mad in the press from.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, Leo. Thanks for watching, buddy.
You a Ninja Turtle?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant.
He was some cool stuff. Leo.
Michelangelo.
That's going to be a video
Okay,
for a different time.
First of all,
It's going to be a video for a
First of
different
all,
time.
Raphael is the coolest Ninja Turtle.
First of all, y'all ain't named the
Hold
right
on.
one yet. Donatello's the best ninja.
Your ass, Donatello's the coolest.
It's the smartest one of all.
That doesn't make him the coolest.
Sure it does.
The fuck it does.
Sure does. Anyway, okay, here's the deal. Cody Rhodes, I love how wrestlers will use Twitter now, tweet something that they obviously mean, and then delete it as if the wrestling
As if the rest of the world didn't see it.
parasites that are out there
Right.
didn't take
Right.
37 screenshots. like the
I
one
mean,
we
It's
have
one
on our
thing, though,
show.
where he could be like, you know, I tweeted this out because I was feeling some type of way and then decided to take it down. But by the time you take it down, like Ringside's got it, Pro Wrestling News got it, Pro Wrestling Insider's got it, WrestleZone's got it.
There's people out there who literally
got it.
that's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Becky and Bethany. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. So I don't know. Once again, it's a huge indicator that there's a whole lot more going on back there. Oh, nice.
Nice. Here's the deal. Cody Rhodes built that company from the ground up.
Without Cody Rhodes, AEW never would have happened.
Would never happen.
It's just a fact.
Here's the deal. If he's out there saying, you wonder what... See, that even points towards there being something legitimate that took place. Because if Cody Rhodes is like, yeah, I wonder why I wasn't...
Yeah.
If it was a work, he sure wouldn't point it out on his own Twitter.
Well, and even then, he wouldn't have... He's got no vested interest there now. You know, he's making millions and millions of dollars.
And all of
this
this bad publicity, I mean, well, there's no such thing as bad publicity. But all this publicity circling everything makes Cody Rhodes look like $1 billion because he got out. Because of the fact, you know, Cody Rhodes was executive vice president?
Yeah, Cody, Omega, and the Bucks were all EVPs.
But
Hi, Astrid. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it makes him look good and smart for getting out when he did.
Well, and also, keep in mind that Punk getting signed was one of the major reasons Cody left, blah, blah, blah. So, Cody avoided, I think, a number of issues just by leaving. Because who's to say that Cody Rhodes is not always as even-keeled as people purported to be. Had Cody Rhodes been backstage after that media scrum, it wouldn't have been a situation where Punk was fighting three guys who don't know how to handle themselves.
Right.
Cody Rhodes is a legitimate tough guy. So it could have been a whole...
Roman Reigns is still champion because he is your tribal chief.
I don't know if anyone has that.
And the head of the table.
I don't know if anyone has joined us at Pro Wrestling TD on Twitter, but we all acknowledged Roman Reigns as our tribal chief.
He is the
Johnny,
tribal
put
chief.
your finger up. Acknowledge.
What are we doing, Max? Whoa, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, it's a magic trick.
Yeah, no. Here's the deal. If it's true, it's kind of show. I mean, it's going to tell you 1,000 different things about AEW.
Yeah.
One, they can't keep their workers safe. They can't keep the
Can't keep
executive
workers
vice
happy.
presidents
They can't
happy.
keep the EVPs safe. The EVPs, the executive vice presidents at the corporate level, barged into a wrestler's locker room and then lost a 3-on-1 fight. You know what would have happened if that news would have been made public and Bill Watts was the booker? Bill Watts would have, number one, fired all four of them.
He'd have pulled his
and
gun.
then beat the hell out
He'd
of
have
all
pulled
four.
his gun. Here's the deal.
Tribal chump, how dare you,
You're
sir.
the wrong tribe.
Stop
Not your gang, Dave.
No, but it's really starting to show kinks in what it kind of. I hate to say this, but it kind of looks like the fault of TNA.
Yeah, or
Kind of
99 WCW,
Yeah.
where there's too much craziness going on
The
backstage.
lunatics are running the asylum, and it's not going to do anyone good business if you can't keep infighting out of your
And
locker.
here's the other part too. Arn Anderson's back there somewhere still. He hasn't been on TV in forever.
No.
But he's still a road agent. They've got Malenko. They've got Jerry Lynn. They've got guys who can shore shit together forcibly, and they're not doing that either.
Well, there was another company meeting for talent led by Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, and John Moxley, and they basically put everyone on notice and was like, listen, handle it professionally or there's the door.
Yeah.
And it's that simple, and that's the thing. You have William Regal, Bryan Danielson, all these big names. If they can't put a stop to it,
Yeah, nobody can.
something's
Well, and I'll tell
terribly
you what,
wrong.
you can tell, which we're going to get into when we talk about Dynamite, you can tell how tight this show was produced and how not chaotic it was booked. Like, Tony Khan had to sit down and focus for once and book a show that made sense and flowed, and it was a damn good show.
It was a good
If
show.
they produce weekly TV like they did last week, consistently, with a couple of minor changes, where they feature their main guys more in the main event saga than in the first half, because that's one thing Tony does a lot, that would be the best wrestling show on TV.
Yeah.
But they would have to do it consistently every week, just like last week.
Yep.
So
Have to put them through the wall. That's last week.
last week was a fluke. Bring it on, woman. All right, Big Bad John, what do we got going on? Take us on a journey. It's time to talk about Monday Night Raw, baby.
Well, all right then.
Top story from coming out of Monday Night Raw was the return of Braun Strowman. And I don't care if you don't like Braun Strowman. I don't care if you have opinions about Braun Strowman. He looked like a fucking animal. He looked different. His body was fucking tuned up, cut up. He came out like a house of fire, like a monster, and they got another major animal there.
Didn't we'll say roughly about a year ago or so, didn't we say that they need to do
When they brought him back,
basically exactly what
if
they did?
they brought him back, they needed to repackage him and change him, and that's exactly
That's exactly what they
Been
did.
watching our show, maybe?
I would think so.
Well, see, here's the deal. Braun Strowman left.
Yep.
Well, he didn't leave. He was let go. When Braun Strowman was let go, he went to the Indies. He made a bunch of comments about different things.
Uh-huh.
But here's the deal. He kept himself fresh in the wrestling fans' mind.
Yep.
He kept himself fresh in the wrestling business's mind. They brought him. He did his turn on the Indies. The Control Your Narrative is screwed up as
Whatever.
it was. They all wished him well. There was no hard feelings between anybody.
You can say what you want, but people were talking about CYN for good or for bad.
Yeah.
And it kept Braun relevant. So
It did. And here's the deal. Now he's back on Raw. Also, we're going to get this out of the way, the elephant in the room. He slipped and he fell. Reason he slipped and he fell on the outside is Chad Gable tried to get out of his way. He went to bump Chad Gable first,
yeah,
and he slipped and he fell.
whatever.
It happens.
Shit happens. It's live.
Chris Jericho was beating down CM Punk with a whiskey bottle, and as he was kicking him, slipped in the liquid that was in the bottle and busted his ass on national television. What did Chris Jericho do? He got the fuck right back up and
went
he
back
finished
to
what
work.
he was supposed to
Yeah.
do, just like
the
Braun
way
Strowman.
you're supposed to. Yeah, regardless of how it looked, I mean, he came in, he looked great. Caleb Black will probably never make an appearance in the WWE. Probably
Ever.
not.
I want to point on that for just a second, because honestly, that brings a realism
Yeah.
into it all. When there's those
Those little-
ups.
well-
if it was a real fight, that is going to happen.
Well, we've always talked about how the WWE is so overproduced that there's no grittiness to it. There's
Right.
no so if someone does slip and bust their ass and get back up.
that is.
You know, if you've ever been in the bar fight and you're in the gravel, you're gonna slip.
Yeah.
It happens. So I absolutely agree. It does give it an air of realism. It gives it
Yeah.
it just you have to take a second and remember that you're watching TV when shit like that happens.
Yes.
Like it's a good thing. Some accidents, an accident made Becky Lynch a superstar.
Yeah.
That's all. Anytime anybody talks about it, buddy, the WWE couldn't afford me.
The WWE could buy and sell both of us. The way to play it.
The DDT was from an accident.
Yep.
So,
Right there.
all right. After we get done talking about big brand Strowman, we have the other top story coming out of Monday Night Raw. One of them, anyway, was that Dexter Lumis finally did trap The Miz.
He did.
Trapped him in the steel cage after Bobby Lashley successfully defended the United States Championship in a damn good cage match for Monday Night Raw. Dexter Lumis finally got him a piece. Broke him off a piece of that Miz cat mark.
I'm loving the Dexter Lumis angle.
Me too.
It's so good. It's so well produced. The Miz's facial expressions when Lumis popped out underneath the ring, hilarious.
Well, and it's hard to sell like the stalker gimmick unless you're having him be a stalker.
yeah.
Dexter Lumis, for all intents and purposes on NXT, didn't really do a whole lot of stalking. He did a lot of looming around.
Well, when he
Right.
was Sam Shaw back in Impact's days, he was the stalker.
Yeah, that's what it should
It
be.
worked perfectly. Everything they used the Dexter Lumis thing as more of a joke in NXT, and they're trying to get back on the straight and narrow with it.
Yeah.
I for one, even are not familiar with Dexter Lumis at all.
Yeah.
And I'm even
Oh,
catching on.
they could buy us for what we think we're worth and sell. They could buy us for what we're actually worth and sell us for what we think we're worth.
Yeah.
Trust me, they got the money. All they got to do is sign a check. Anyway,
I'll
go
come
ahead.
out in a clown wig and a tutu.
okay.
Yeah, even I'm even getting intrigued with
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah. The last big story we're going to cover from Monday Night Raw is that it finally happened. Dominic Mysterio has joined Judgment Day, turned on Rey Mysterio last week, and here we are.
Dominic is no longer a virgin.
I
No,
have I've
She
gotten
turned him into a
word
man.
that he will officially change his name back to Guerrero.
okay, but honestly, that would be fucking brilliant.
It would be.
The I'm Your Poppy shirts that she keeps pushing at
Mm-hmm.
it. Here's the deal: Dominic Guerrero, for a lot of the people on Twitter that I've seen in the last couple months, did something that a lot of those fanboys wishes they could do, even if it's storyline based or not.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I know the fans can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
Would they have to have?
Oh, you
I
ain't
guess
wrong.
it would be
We have mics and shit, all kinds of
Would
cool
they have to
stuff.
have like Big E's permission to use the
Yeah.
or somebody
Well-
Guerrero name?
Not necessarily, because they still own marketing and they still own a trademark for the video games, so they could probably implement it without having to go through the without having to go through the state. Yeah. They could legally name anyone they wanted to anything, technically. I mean, they could just spell it a different way for
And here's the deal: Vicky and Chavo wouldn't block anything like that because
Oh,
it's Ray's boy.
It's
Dominic Guerrero.
money, baby.
Also, it's a Guerrero name out there in the public eye, making money.
Because you've been up the road tooling up some kid named Juventud. Sorry.
You leave Hoobie out.
I love Hoobie. All right.
He was the juice, you know.
Minor stories coming out of Monday Night Raw that we talked about a little bit. Damian Priest defeated Rey Mysterio in an okay match. Raquel and Aaliyah defeated Doudrop and Nikki ASH. And Seth turned down Matt Riddle's offer for a rematch. So that's really all that happened for Monday Night Raw. The big story is Braun and Dominic. And killing it, as always, Bobby Lashley's U.S. champ.
And then, of course, you have next Monday where you're going to have Dominic Guerrero versus Edge.
Yep.
Bianca Belair in an open challenge for the WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Yep.
And you're going to have the women's tag titles on the line with Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez against
Bailey's Kids. So we got a big Monday Night Raw, which we're actually going to do one of our live cut-in videos, one of our canned content videos, talking about that card and talking about Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that this week. All right, let's head on over to the other network and talk about some AEW Dynamite. So Tony Khan opened up the broadcast with the announcement that he had to vacate the championships. They were going to crown the new Trios champions that night on Dynamite, and they're going to initiate a Grand Slam tournament, a second tournament in fucking 2 months for that damn world title, featuring Bryan Danielson, Hangman Page, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and who else?
I only have the one we have is only the updated bracket that we have on the show today.
Okay.
And that's
Well, Danielson won, so he's going to go on to wrestle
Chris
Chris
Jericho.
Jericho, and then Moxley's going to go on to wrestle Sammy Guevara because Sammy Guevara defeated Darby Allin on Rampage. So there we have it. I think it's going to come down to Danielson and Moxley.
Well, and here's the deal: out of these 4 guys that's left, 3 of them are
We
former.
completely agree with that, Rob. They definitely need Sasha and Naomi to come back
Yes.
soon.
They just walked the runway at a fashion show over the
Yep.
weekend.
They're looking good.
With the exception of Sammy Guevara, the other 3 members of this tournament, Jericho, Danielson, and Moxley,
Are
are all
certified
former
world
heavyweight
champions, yeah.
champions, world heavyweight champions. Sammy Guevara holds a record of 3 consecutive TNT title runs. So everyone that's in the final 4 of this, legitimately, if
I
you look
agree,
at
Rob.
it on paper, they're all worthy of being the next AEW
Oh,
champion.
for sure. Who do you think's going to win?
Who do I want to win?
Yeah, who do you want to win?
Danielson.
Danielson? It would have to be Danielson and Mox, right? Like, Mox is holding the show down. But I think if you put it on Danielson, you can accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish with Punk.
Well, this week, and we'll get to the next slide here in a second because it has to do a lot with what I'm about to say. But this week, when Jon Moxley came out on TV,
Yeah,
he said, I was supposed to be on
They
vacation
called me
right
back,
now.
yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Well, if he's planning a vacation and stuff, he loses the next round of the tournament, Sammy Guevara, will do a screw job or something, and he goes off TV for a little.
Probably. Or but can they afford to take him off TV now that they don't have the Elite and Punk?
They could, and the reason that they could is because if this is a work,
Yeah.
you will see these guys start to bleed back on TV.
Well, yeah, but even then, if it's a work, you got to let it carry out for what, 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
At least.
So he's got to be doing something for the next little period of time.
Unless Tony Khan has an ace up his sleeve, and there's something because MJF is already still now the new number 1 contender.
Which, let's talk about
Yeah.
that right now. MJF opened the show. Bait and switch. Big Bad John, got it?
There it
man.
is. There it is.
Bait and switch with the crowd. Starts out talking about how happy he is to be back, how much he loves whatever town they were in. I forgot. Pittsburgh, fucking working it. The funniest thing goes, not only am I back, but Tony Khan's paying me a boatload of money. Very, worked it up like a baby face, blew it up. Moxley comes out immediately. MJF flips the switch, starts cutting in on fucking the crowd, cutting in on everybody, and then looks at Moxley and says, maybe I'll take this belt to a real wrestling company.
where his friend Cody
the American roller coaster, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. I'd take it to him.
Yeah. And then said the
Great.
bit about, like, my favorite wrestler and my inspiration and my hero, The Game. And then Moxley cuts him off. He's like, now is not, in a very serious, that was not the time. Now is not the place. Which, like, really translated to Moxley being like, with all this shit going on back there, you're going to come out here and show your ass. Get the fuck out of my ring.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, MJF works the fucking sharp being stuck gimmick, gets all the heat in the world, bows out, and then Moxley cuts a hell of a promo.
Here's the deal. MJF, you could put him against any one of the four of those guys.
Yeah.
Any one of them. Him and Danielson would be great.
Him and Danielson would be very good.
You get something fresh with MJF coming back. You know they're going to put the belt on him. Whoever's holding this title right now is a placeholder.
Yeah.
Whoever
Well-
wins the championship, in my opinion, is going to be a placeholder.
Or maybe this will be where Punk's got to come back and really earn his way back in, if it's not a work.
If it's not a work.
You know? That's something we got to figure out. We got to see. It's going to be good.
Promo was good. MJF being back on TV is always a plus.
Yeah, and Mox's promos are getting consistently better. He also, like, cut his hair. His beard was trimmed. He looked good. But then again, like, he wasn't even supposed to be here. All right, moving on. We did crown our trios champions between the Best Friends and Death Triangle. And obviously, Death Triangle picks up the win. So it's Pac, their, what is it, All-Pacific champion. And now with...
Mid-Atlantic.
No, yeah, the Mid-Atlantic champion, and with the Lucha Brothers are the trios champs.
Which means that Pac is the very first ever...
You can cuss, Rob. No one said you couldn't. No one said you guys couldn't swear.
The thing is with the... lost my train of thought.
Trios championships.
Thank you. That makes Pac the first person in AEW history to hold 2 championships at the same time. That's fact.
No.
Yes, AEW dropped it on their YouTube page. He's the
2
first...
AEW championships.
That's what I mean. 2 of the AEW
Because
championships.
Omega was a triple
No.
world champion.
2 AEW championships.
Yeah,
yes.
no, that's true.
Yep.
Good for him.
Which, here's the deal. We all knew Pac was something when he was Neville.
The fact that he came in as one of the top heels, like, he should be one of the top heels in the show. He should be competing for the world title because he's a hell of a matchmaker, but I don't hate the fact that he's doing what he's doing right now either.
Don't drink, no smoke.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
It was a good match.
Damn good
I
match.
thought
Lots
it
of
was
flipping, lots of
fantastic.
flying, lots of hooky. Finally, I really hope they just fucking take the Best Friends off TV for a little while. It's not a funny joke anymore. The Danhausen popping up and doing the curse thing on Pac, interrupting it, fucking Cassidy's hands back in his pockets, fucking... It's just, the joke has run out. And if we want serious competition, then we need to have serious matches.
Here's the deal. If they would just let the man wrestle.
Yeah.
I'm a Danhausen fan. You were on record as not being a big fan
Right.
of the guy.
But
I am a fan of the guy, and even I'm going, put the guy in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, I know he can wrestle, but the world's never going to be able to see that he can wrestle if he's not wrestling.
But in the middle of this, you've got these incredibly athletic, incredibly serious performers working their asses off to get these belts over to establish them, and then in the middle of this hyper-athletic match, you have Danhausen popping up and cursing them.
That's a Tony Khan thing.
It's a stupid thing.
It's stupid.
You want to give Danhausen something to do? Put him in your mid-card, let him curse people in his own matches. Let him get him shit over in the ring by himself. Don't take away from the hard work that Pac and those guys
A couple weeks ago on Dark, Danhausen wrestled Jake something.
Yeah.
And beat
Jake
Jake
something,
something.
yeah.
But here's the
Which
deal.
is why he isn't signed to AEW is fucking beyond.
But that's the thing. He can wrestle those sized guys. Why are you just having him do a bit part? I get it. It's funny. I love Danhausen for the cursing and all that. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But at the same
find
time,
place for it.
you have to be able to prove the fact that he deserves to be there because
agree.
he can work.
Well, it's the same argument with Cassidy too. In the middle of a hyper-athletic match, Cassidy's going to put his fucking good Sensi sales. Do you sell Sensi, Rob? I didn't know that. Thank you. Yeah, man. If he would just, there's a market for Cassidy because he's incredibly over. There's a market for Danhausen because he's incredibly over. My point is, not in the middle of a hyper-serious match where there's some really cool shit going on.
Not also to mention that you were in the match for figuring out vacated championship belts.
Can we not? We need to get these belts over seriously. We need to introduce people to them. It's not Pick your fucking spots, kids. It's not that
And
hard.
here's the deal: Death Triangle is the perfect guys to
Perfect
recapture
team.
these championships.
Perfect team. We also had Toni Storm defend the AEW Women's Championship against Penelope Ford, or the interim Women's Championship. Wardlow defended the TNT title against Tony Nese successfully. We got Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson in the the quarterfinal match for the tournament, in which Danielson made Hangman Page tap out. And then, got a pinfall rather. And then for the ROH Pure Championship, we had Daniel Garcia against Wheeler Yuta. And Daniel Garcia picked up the win.
Daniel Garcia is probably one of those. Go ahead and flip up the next slide. Is one of those guys that can go a long way with the right strategy behind him.
Yeah.
That championship belt, Ring of Honor, especially the pure title of all championships to put on him,
Yeah.
and Daniel Bryan putting his Bryan Danielson, thank you, putting his stamp of approval on somebody from Ring of Honor with a championship like that, with the American Dragon being so intricate in building Ring of Honor from the ground up, to have his mark on Daniel Garcia is not only going to take him a long way, but the guy can go.
Yeah.
And with the guy being able to go in a championship caliber the way that he is, Ring of Honor, when they do the repackage or they do the rebranding and they bring the shows back full time, he's going to be a very valuable asset.
Agreed.
To Ring of Honor, just due to the fact that this dude's in the Blackpool
Combat Club.
Yeah.
We didn't cover this. We didn't cover this. We were going to. Pat McAfee. So he worked out a deal with ESPN for what show?
SmackDown.
The show-
College Game Day.
Yeah, college. So he's going to be working with ESPN during the next 3 months
for the college season.
And so Pat McAfee's being pulled off of the announce bracket because the WWE decided they didn't want him traveling back and forth so much in between days to make tapings and to make stuff. So they're giving him the levity. He's going to be off TV for a little while, but he will be back. He's still under contract with SmackDown.
They vaguely mentioned that at the beginning of SmackDown that he. I saw a lot of.
Hey, welcome,
rumors that he
Wolfie.
was
Better late
gone.
than everybody.
Saw a lot of rumors that he was gone completely.
He's still under contract.
Yeah.
So back to what we were talking about Daniel Garcia. The other thing too is they took their time. They integrated him on shows. They featured him heavily, and it was all to get him up to this point. Because you remember, like, when he showed up, he was just on every episode of Dynamite, either in a small segment or important segments. And
Wolfie, you're late. I do want to tell you that you won the name being entered.
The cup. Oh wait, we hadn't done that drawing yet.
No, he
Never
won
mind.
he won the names for the bucket due to finding the phrase in last week's video.
Yes. So
congratulations.
We got what was I going to say? Yeah, no, they featured Garcia
in bit parts
and matches heavily. They put him in this thing with Jericho where they really got to flesh out his character, and then they put him in a situation where he could get over. They organically built him up, and he's a damn good wrestler. Like he
really is. He really is.
That closes up the main event for Dynamite. So let's hop on over to SmackDown, where Karrion Kross attacked Drew McIntyre.
Here's the
deal.
As
you can see.
I want to see this match.
So do I.
Drew McIntyre can do so much in a ring, even when he's not the face of the company.
Yeah.
He's been, he's kind of the measuring stick for SmackDown.
Agreed.
I mean, if you really,
he's one of the measuring sticks for the entire company.
Yeah. And Karrion Kross coming in hot, first off. People want to see the guy. People want to hear the guy speak. They like the idea of him taking on Roman eventually. All that we're going to get to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
His stuff with Drew McIntyre is the perfect build, because if he can beat Drew McIntyre, he can prove to everyone in the wrestling business that he deserves a crack at Roman Reigns.
Agreed. Completely. I think also it's good to have another genuinely good heel bumper for McIntyre, because it keeps him working and it keeps him in a serious. You don't want him to fall back. Remember, like how 3 or 4 months ago he was sort of like in a mid-card lull.
Yeah.
If you want to keep McIntyre on top, you've got to feature him. He's one of those guys you just can't do that with. You got to feature him in matches with serious competitors. It can't be a thing where he comes out and wrestles fucking what jobber tag team number 2 at a fucking handicap match, because no one cares.
Right. Also with Roman Reigns, it was revealed that Roman Reigns will not be in Extreme Rules.
Oh.
Roman Reigns will not show back up until Crown Jewel, with the projected number 1 contender that he's going to face being Kevin
Mine too, Wolfie. Yeah. Look, I'm all for Roman's obviously got the best deal he could possibly get. As limited time possible, as much money as possible. The championships, I mean, but can we not get a world champ on the show? Can we
Right.
not? Can we not,
Right.
please? And I know that, like, it's going to be so important when Cody comes back and he's going to be working full time and he's world champ or whatever the hell, but, like, come on, man. And I know, I get it. He's going to be a movie star and the WWE's investing a lot in him and they're protecting him. Get all of that. But week to week, we want to see a world champ. AEW hasn't had a world champ in months. If you think about it, and we've got two. We got a guy with 2 world titles that we see less than their non-world champion.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
There's no sense being made here. Where are the world champs at? You know where they're at? Fucking Josh Alexander busting his ass as world champ at Impact every single fucking night in and night out.
Yeah, Cesaro, Ring of Honor
Ring of Honor
champion's been
world,
killing
the
it.
Ring of Honor world champion has been featured more on AEW, which is a different show, than the world champion of the WWE has been featured on either show.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane, and it's stupid, and I hate it.
Tell us how you really feel.
I hate it. All right, what else happened on SmackDown? Motherfuckers, goddamn.
So,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
The
Soon.
Imperium
I'm waiting. I'm
wrestled
excited.
Imperium wrestled the Brutes again in a hellacious 6-man tag match.
that was it's the only part of SmackDown that I've actually got to see so far.
Yeah.
It was. Oh,
I
it was great.
really feel like Sheamus is having like a resurgence right now.
He really is.
Well, like we talked about last week before the pay-per-view, is that he has someone that he can really
Get in
go
there
with.
and mix with.
That is my
Yeah.
tribal chief, too, yes.
Who is
Even
Cesaro?
that- Even
No.
his run against McIntyre didn't quite seem what you would expect, but this run against Gunther is
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, he had that. The problem, remember the run he had against McIntyre, but it was COVID era, so they were doing weird wrestling
You're
stuff,
right,
and it was
that's-
no live
yeah.
audience, and it could have been so much better. Not that it was bad,
No.
but with the
Yeah,
live
there's
audience and
something
this,
that was a little lackluster.
but you put that Intercontinental title on Sheamus, and let him and McIntyre have a run for it, there's another fucking viable fight, big fight feel you're going to get out of it. But Sheamus is on a come up, like he's coming back.
Here's the deal.
Big way.
If they were to wrestle each other again in any, even it be half as good as the match at Clash at the Castle, it's still worth it, the time. It is.
I totally agree.
We the ones, Wolfie.
Acknowledge.
Knowledge.
Everybody's
Okay,
acknowledging.
but hold on. He's not lazy. He's just worked out the best deal for his job. And not to mention, it's the WWE who's making that investment in Roman. They've got plans for him to do movies. They've got plans for him to do all kinds of stuff. Right now, they can't afford him getting hurt because they got nobody else who's as big a star.
WWE is starting up a whole new line
Oh,
of
get out of here with this bullshit
You can
again.
check that out on last Friday's show.
But yeah, no, Roman's not lazy because he works his ass off, but they're using him the way that, honestly, they're going to get the most out of him.
Here's the deal. Roman Reigns is anything but lazy.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is the ambassador for
I'm
WWE.
just saying, you can do that with Roman and still give us at least one world champion on either show.
Well, here's the deal. If you don't want him on TV all the time, at least have him on the pay-per-views. But what you also got to understand, all these people are jumping on Roman. Roman doesn't book the matches.
Nope, that's all.
Roman is not the booker. He's not the one that says, well, I don't want to wrestle this show. I don't want to wrestle
Now,
this show.
he does have the opportunity to negotiate his contract.
He does, but
But-
however, the guy who makes the matches and doesn't put him on these shows is not Roman Reigns.
Right? You're right.
It's the booking committee. It's Triple H. It's Shawn Michaels. It's the Road Dogs.
Yeah.
Whoever else.
I don't even care if they like let him keep one of the belts, but have him drop one strap. That way we've got a world champion who's going to be featured. Then when he shows up as Universal Champion, then it's special because it's like, oh, the Universal Champion's here, like something.
Also,
Something else to what they're doing.
also
And
Roman
also,
Reigns laying the belts down is not the way to go.
please just unify the shows.
I agree.
Please unify all the belts, unify the shows. Eat mine out.
What's going to happen is they're going to realize that
Bite
they
my
need
crank.
2 championships again.
Bite my whole crank.
We already showed not that long
Put it in
ago
your
a
mouth.
picture of
Suck it,
what
suck it, suck it, suck it.
a picture of what the title belt's going to look like, the new one.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You make that the title belt when we hit the draft, which the draft is October or November. That's what they've been planning.
Yeah.
They will they will take the unified Universal Championships, combine it into one belt, and then whatever show that title's not on, they will give a new championship to that show. because the Universal title is no longer the new championship.
Nope.
It's just not. And here's the deal. Anybody that has a problem with WWE adding another world championship obviously hasn't been watching TV for the last 3 months, because AEW has done 12 of them. 12 of them in the last 4 months. 12. 12 championships the last 4 months. And people bitch about WWE reinstituting a new title. If you're going to reinstate a new title, my problem with the new title that was brought into WWE is that the 24/7 championship's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. You want to introduce a championship that's actually going to have weight and be fought for like a championship should be, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I've never been against 2 heavyweight championships in the WWE because of this exact problem.
Yeah.
One show should always have a heavyweight championship pay-per-view. They don't have to be both champions every pay-per-view, but one heavyweight champion should be recognized on pay-per-view.
Or
acknowledged.
or fucking unify the shows, have one world champion, and then you put yourself in a position where you can feature the Intercontinental title and United States title even more than they're already being featured now. In
Which
main event settings.
They have beefed up in the last.
But
Yeah.
imagine one set of tag titles, one women's championship, get rid of the women's tag titles or keep them, I don't particularly give a shit. One world title, and then you've got your 2 second-tier titles.
Yeah.
Which you can elevate and keep that rotation. It doesn't always have to be about the world champ. You can have a fucking United States title main event in a pay-per-view. If it means that much.
I would love for a cruiserweight title to come back, but there's just not a division for it anymore.
No. 205, they got rid of
tried.
205 Live.
And they tried, but WWE, the reason you won't see a cruiserweight title is because cruiserweight is a WCW concept.
Yeah.
And WWE wants to make their own legacy, wants all their own stuff to go through. It's just the way that they're going to want to run things.
Yeah. Agreed.
Should we shill?
Yeah, let's shill the socials. Check us out over at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can also check out streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can access our merch store. And over at the merch store, you're going to find a variety of items that are anagrammed with our names, faces, logos, all sorts of fun stuff. We got koozies, we got fanny packs, we got yoga pants, we got some sneakers. We have the limited edition Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini that features mine and Luke's face on the top and mine solely on the bottom, and the Pro Wrestling Throwdown logo on the back of the buttocks. So check all that cool stuff out and buy our merch because we love you and we're cool.
I did have a question asked for me to bring up on the show for you. Someone was talking about where you see the tag team division heading. I mean, we'll get back into SmackDown here in a moment.
Sure.
Where do you see the tag team division going now that we're having an influx of new, professional wrestlers on the main roster and a draft coming up?
Well,
Are we going to get the tag team matches and the tag team series of old, like we had back in late 90s, early 2000s, or are we on a precipice of something bigger?
Well, I think that their tag team division is going to have to flesh out even more so than it is, and we are seeing tag team wrestling. It's been featured every single week in some capacity with the top teams they've got right now. We've still got tag teams we have to call up at some point. So after the draft, I imagine if they're smart, they're going to unify those tag titles, and we're going to see some real, genuine tag team competition. We had 2 4-ways this week, I think. No, we had one 4-way on Raw that got interrupted by Strowman, and then we also had the 8-man tag with the same teams that also got interrupted by Strowman, which we'll get into why that's bad for tag team wrestling anyway. But Los Lotharios, great tag team.
Yes.
Private Party, great tag team. Hit Row, great tag team. And the Alpha Academy, great tag teams. We're not even talking about the Usos or the New Day, like the 2 main top tag teams of the company. These are tag teams that are viable competitors. And then when you factor in all of the talent down in NXT, you factor in the single stuff you can do, pair a couple guys up together and get some traction out of that, the tag team division is going to get better. It has to, because they don't really have a choice. One thing AEW doesn't get wrong a whole lot is their tag team division. And now, with so many tag teams over there and with so much competition, and the Ring of Honor tag teams, and the Ring of Honor Trios champions, and the AEW Trios champions, and the NJPW tag, if they don't start featuring their tag team division sooner, they're going to lose a big part of that conversation.
What if, and hear me out, maybe they'll watch and take this idea from us.
Okay.
What if we take the draft and we do a tag team draft where they just randomly draft a whole bunch of tag teams together and try to form.
Like the Lethal Lottery was in TNA.
Yeah.
Or
where they,
WCW.
where they pulled a bunch of different names. And,
Here's the deal: if you really want to emphasize on tag team wrestling, take one of these short shows that you've been doing.
yeah.
Level Up,
Yeah.
for one, would be great to breed a tag team foundation for WWE.
Uh-huh.
However, could they afford to do a tag team show?
No.
You don't think so?
No, there's just not enough interest. If this were 1985, like that's a whole different thing. But also, look at how heavily they haven't featured their tag teams forever. It's a hard thing to sell for fucking. It's a hard thing to sell for casual fans of the WWE who know there are tag teams there, but it's not a featured division like
that's
it was.
why I think it's
Yes, soon, Rob. Soon.
a tag team
Yeah.
draft type thing.
Now, like-
to get some new.
If it were TNA circa 2007, 2008, when they had bar none the best tag team division in wrestling, that probably in the last prior fucking 10 years or 15 years to that, yeah, you could book a tag team show with those tag teams all goddamn day. All goddamn day.
Now that we've unified the tag titles, do we make them one set of straps?
Yes! For God's sake, unify all of them, make them one strap, and then they mean more. It doesn't really mean anything if you can lose your World Tag Team titles on one episode of Raw.
I have a theory on that. It kind of goes along with, we know that there's most likely going to be
Sure.
a new belt coming for Roman Reigns, at least. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my theory is that they're going to do the same thing
That's
with
what
the
they
tag
need to do.
belts.
They should.
That's what they need to do.
No. Yeah, something they're going to unify them
Yeah.
and come out with a whole new belt.
You know-
I think they're just holding off
Yeah.
until all that happens.
You know why it isn't special? Because you can walk into Monday Night Raw World Tag Team Champions and lose them, and show up on SmackDown and win another set of World Tag Team titles.
They did it. They traded the Raw Tag
Exactly.
Team titles.
Literally traded them.
They just handed them
There's
over
no
to each other.
specialness to it. There's no like, and the same thing. The benefit is that the Usos hold both straps,
Yeah.
so you got to work with the top tag team. But it's like it doesn't. If you've got 4 tag teams on either show, and at any given moment, one of those tag teams that can be world champions, and not even have to work that fucking hard. Tag team wrestling just doesn't matter. It's not that special there, and that's what they need to focus on. They need to bring it back and make it in the NWA. While even Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes were main eventing fucking 30,000, 40,000 people arenas and in fucking semi-main events, they were holding tag team world title main events
60,
on closed
six
circuit fucking
mans.
TV.
War Games.
War Games. Fucking Road Warriors were booked over Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. Let me say that again. At the height of the NWA in 1987, they booked a World Tag Team title main event, and the semi-main event was Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. You know what the main event was? It was Road Warriors and the Midnight Motherfucking Express, because they were the best goddamn tag teams in the business. You can still do that if you do it the right way.
Agreed.
Said my piece.
You feel better?
I do. Thank you.
All right, let's go on with our next slide for SmackDown.
Back over on Hill SmackDown. Here.
Here we go.
Solo Sikoa.
Or as I'm going to affectionately call him, Uso number
So
3.
number 3. Did officially.
Nope. New nickname?
Also,
Mambo number 5. Mambo number 5.
So, as we all saw and as we predicted, Solo Sikoa has now joined the Bloodline.
Here's the deal. Yeah, he joined Sami Zayn in the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. They brought them out. They cut this big promo
Totally agreed, Rob. That's what we've been saying for months.
where Solo was like, "You mess with my family, and I'm gonna mess with you back.
Yeah.
I'm here to stay." And then they bring out Drew McIntyre with his chair, and everyone powders out of the ring except Solo. Mm-hmm. He's standing there like, "Come get you some, bro."
Yeah, come have a piece.
He takes the chair in the stomach as he's bent over. Drew gets ready to hammer him with the chair, and Sami Zayn pushes Solo out of the way and takes the chair shot.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What we said last week, I don't remember what video, check them all, that we dropped last week.
Watch them all.
I mentioned that the way they were going to do it is Jay and this guy are going to have friction over who's going to be Roman's right-hand man.
Yep.
And what's going to happen is Solo, now that Sami Zayn has pushed him
Yeah.
out of the way, there's going to be I appreciate what you did for my family.
Uh-huh.
About pushing him out of the way. And Jay's going to start getting that, well, he didn't do that for me
Right.
in my match with Drew or
Right.
whoever, Kevin Owens last week.
Yeah.
So what makes him so special? And then Roman's going to, of course, put Jay in his place. And there's where your seed's going to turn.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. The kid looks like $1 million. He has that. When he was doing his promo on SmackDown, no joking around.
Yeah.
It felt like The Rock.
Yeah.
He stood in front of all those boys and he cut that promo on that microphone looking dead in the camera. You mess with my family, you mess with me.
Yeah. You know what they really need?
What's that?
They need like a Hart Dynasty to go up against.
Something.
They need another family. Like Cody Rhodes needs to, like, you could do them and like Orton could create a new version of Legacy or something.
Yeah.
Like they need
talked about that
they need a
months ago.
family buffer, and like I'm picturing, because the Nation and the Hart Dynasties always want to be like,
When Cody
Just
came
A
back,
Nation and DX.
yeah, they
when
need
Cody came back, I had threw up the proposition of putting Cody and Randy and those that are left from like Natty,
yeah,
those are left from the Hart Dynasty, and bring them all.
Yeah.
the
Kind of like a coalition.
sort of the legacy.
because that's going to be the next. That's going to be your next step. We need some faction.
You know
warfare
where
now.
you put that? War Games!
Oh god.
That's where you put that.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay, but who? The Bloodline versus. So who's all a second gen superstar right
You
now?
take the 4 members of
Second or third.
five members of the Bloodline.
Yeah, you gotta have Sami Zayn, and then you
Your
have to throw in Kevin Owens on the other side.
Your coalition would be Cody Rhodes,
Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and there's 5. So 5th one
Drew.
probably.
Yeah.
That sounds like Survivor Series to me. Drew.
Or you take all 5 members of the Bloodline and you mix and match members of Imperium and the Brutes.
Ooh.
And then you got a real fight on your hands.
You do.
You got Sheamus,
But
fucking
don't
Gunther.
you see that kind of Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and all that taking place around like Survivor Series?
Sounds about
Just
all
happens to be a pay-per-view that's coming up in November.
All featured tag team matches that I'm still gonna
You
win.
now have 5 members of the Bloodline,
Yep.
so that's a Survivor
That's a
Series. team.
Survivor Series team is what I tried to say.
It can get
I'm saying,
interesting.
baby, it's coming.
Keep the AJ in. He ain't doing nothing.
Other stories that happened this previous week. Rodriguez and Aaliyah defeated Toxic Attraction. Rousey is now the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's title after winning a 5-way. Street Profits and Hit Row defeated Los Lotharios and Maximum Male Models. And Braun Strowman came out and beat up the American Alpha after that match. So, that is all of the big matches that happened this week. Rampage, we also saw Cesaro take on Dax Harwood for the Ring of Honor World title, which
Damn
was
good
fucking
match.
great. And that's also where we saw Sammy Guevara defeat Darby Allin for the #1 contendership tournament.
Also very good
Damn
match.
good match.
Yeah.
So that's this week in American wrestling over here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown. So, you know what that means?
Is it that time
I believe
already?
it's that time. It's time for birthdays.
Bullshit.
Max, take it away.
All right. We're going to start out with our tribal chief and head of the table. Even your table, Rob. Roman Reigns has been Universal Champion. This may be off for just a day or two. 700.
Let's be honest. Randy Orton really isn't much of a threat, though, says Elizabeth Smith.
How do you?
Oh, you're well.
How?
Look, he's all
You-
flustered. You can't see him, but we can.
Charlatan!
He knows how to drive a truck.
Oh.
Damn.
So it may or may not be 740 plus
Yeah.
a day or so.
Max, why don't you scoot in here just a little bit so that mic picks you up, buddy?
All right.
He eats out of the dog dish.
That dog dish is 24
Better be
karat
something
gold
made-
covered with
made of
diamonds.
solid gold. All right.
I'm going to beat you this week.
I don't think so.
All right. It's
Actually,
time
you
to get
might.
into some birthdays. Y'all ready?
I'm ready, baby. Lay it
All
on me,
right.
Papa.
Before we get into birthdays, I think for our viewers in the United Kingdom, we should talk
Absolutely
about
take a moment to recognize the passing of Queen Elizabeth.
with the passing of Queen Elizabeth. This is the first time in 7 decades that there's been a King of England.
Yeah, well, 9 decades.
9 decades.
No. When was she named Queen? What year?
Not sure.
I don't know. I didn't look all this up. You said we weren't going to go into it.
So it would have been, 7 decades.
7
Right around there.
decades as Queen.
Wow.
We're with the the people of the UK.
Yeah, man. We cannot pretend to understand the importance of what the Queen represents to the people of the UK because there's obvious cultural difference here, but we do recognize that she is a living icon. She outlived.
We acknowledge.
We acknowledge the Queen.
We acknowledge the Queen.
God save the Queen. And,
I don't really care much for the successor. But
God save the Queen and God save King Charles.
Yep.
You sure this is the right place? God save the King. Oh, that's the right place. All right, and now we got that out of the way.
The most interesting
All right.
bank cash in of all time. All right.
King Charles.
Hey, Austin Theory could learn a thing or two.
Jeez.
All right, let's go to the birthday list. What we got?
We're gonna start out today. Hey, man.
Paulie is 58.
59.
Paul Heyman is 57 today.
Hey, we so
point.
close.
I knew he was a few years younger than Cornette was.
Tomorrow,
Look, it's a talented Laurinaitis.
And the living road warrior.
it'll be Road Warrior Animal. We will remember 1960 to 2020.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. He passed away, didn't he?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Damn, that's right. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
Me and Joe actually traded a lot of talk on Facebook.
Yeah.
THRU, as funny as it seems. Okay, here's the deal. My name's Luke Williams.
Yep.
The Bushwhacker, who is Bushwhacker Luke, his name is also Luke Williams. I met this man, the Bushwhacker, because of the fact that when my name would get tagged in stuff he was on, because both of our names are Luke Williams,
Yeah.
so people would accidentally tag me. And we got to talking, and I was talking to Luke the Bushwhacker on one of his posts, and Laurinaitis jumped in and started talking, and me and him had a message
Yeah.
back and forth with each other for like 3 or 4 days at a time.
Yeah.
The man was very, very friendly. It's scary as fuck. There's been people who legitimately quit the business wrestling the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Saw they were going to wrestle him and quit the business. Because they were that feared in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Very eloquent, very nice guy, very humble. His son, hell of a football player.
Yeah.
I mean, hell of a football
Yeah.
player. His brother, but him especially. So rest in peace, Animal.
Absolutely. Hold on one second. I got a family message I got to answer.
All right, go
You
ahead.
guys want to keep on talking here? I just one
He
second.
brought the spiked shoulder pads
Uh-huh.
to a whole new generation. Do you know why? Funny story. Do you know why they shaved their head the way they did, the Legion of Doom?
I do,
Yeah.
but why don't you tell everyone?
They were talking about what would set them different. When they first wrestled as the Road Warriors, they literally looked like biker strippers. It's what they looked like. They wore chains and the leather and all that, and they had seen the movie Mad Max.
Yeah.
And they was like, well, we need to do that. We need to do the shoulder pads with the spikes and shit. And they was like, well, what do we need to do with our hair? And Animal's first thing Animal said was flat tops. We'll do flat tops. It's scary. Flat tops are scary.
Sorry about that, guys.
And
Just
Hawk
messaged me with a little
decided, no, you'll do a mohawk with a long, wherever you have hair, I won't have hair.
Yeah.
So that way, when we're together, we can plug in. And that's where the
where the dual
hairstyles
mohawk came
come from.
Yep.
Where Animal has hair, Hawk does not.
Thank you, Rob. Have a great day, buddy.
Have a good one, brother.
All right, let's keep this party rolling. Sorry about that. My sister needed had a little emergency idea.
All right. We go to the 13th. Angelina Love.
Angelina Love. I believe that is the ex-wife of Bully Ray. Or is that Madison Rain?
No, Madison Rain is married to Josh, the.
All right, so
announcer.
Angelina Love would be.
Yes, that's Bully Ray's ex. Lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, they just got a divorce too. It sucks.
I'm gonna say, God, I hate doing this with women because it's terrible. But I'm gonna go. She's older.
I'm gonna say 47.
I'm gonna go a little younger. I'm gonna say 44.
No point again. She'll be 41 years old.
I'll be a son of a bitch.
Now she got started early then.
She would have only been 17 years ago?
Yeah.
23?
Yeah,
22?
she's young.
Wow.
Of course, her, Madison Rain, and Velvet Sky have all
Oh, Velvet Sky.
was
I
the
think
ex of
is
Bully Ray.
Bully Ray's
Yeah,
ex.
you're
yeah.
correct.
Sharing
Madison
her
Rain was
birthday-
Josh.
Yeah.
Sharing
whatever
her
his name
birthday on the 13th
Uh-huh.
will be
Happy Corbin.
Bum ass Corbin.
Bum ass
Bum
old
ass
fucking Corbin
Corbin.
over here.
Thomas Corbin.
36? My guess,
38.
Bum-ass Corbin will be 38 years
38 years old, nice.
Point Luke.
Luke's finally on the
I
table.
have to remember that he was a football player before a wrestler,
Yeah.
so you have to add on that
Yeah.
them years.
Bum-ass football
He
player.
also looks good for. Still got a lot of longevity in his career. The beautiful people, yes.
Highest rated act in Impact history. Believe it or not. Minute for minute.
Let's go to the 14th. With
Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford is 27 years old.
Penelope Ford is 26.
Penelope Ford will be 30 years old.
Wow.
Table.
He's allowed one or two a show.
Even a blind
game.
nut every now and then.
Sometimes not at all.
How does it feel to be God's favorite?
On the 15th.
Oh, shit! It's Teddy Long!
Teddy Long, player.
Hold on there now, player!
I don't know what they said in the ring there, but tonight you're going one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Holla! Holla! Holla!
It's a tag team match, player.
You know what I often forget? That Teddy Long started out as a referee.
Teddy Long not only started out as a referee,
I
but
completely forgot
he
that.
was also the manager of Doom, Ron
Doom,
Simmons
yeah.
and Butch Reed. Teddy Long, he's up there.
God.
I actually heard a story from a buddy of mine who met him
Yeah.
and was like, he's one of the nicest dudes you ever seen.
I met him randomly standing in between two sets of bleachers at a SmackDown show when we were teenagers. When Max and I went. And I think it was during the Chris Benoit MVP match for the US title. And I just happened to walk by and he was standing there, he's very small by the way, with a notebook in his hand just looking. And I stopped and I was like, holy shit, you're Teddy Long. And he's like, I sure am, player. Teddy Long's got to be 66.
I'm going to go 65.
Teddy Long will be 75 years old.
Woo!
Wow.
He's older than Flair. Wow.
That was Point Caleb, right?
Well,
Yes,
he was
sir.
reffing Flair's matches,
Yeah,
so that makes
yeah.
sense.
They also on the 15th.
Adrian
You'll
Adonis.
remember
Adrian Adonis, one of the original heels.
1953 to 1988.
The prototype to Goldust.
I love that you saved a picture of him with hair,
Uh-huh.
being that his most notable wrestling match was at WrestleMania 4, where he was put to sleep and had his hair cut by Roddy Piper.
Yep.
That was when Brutus the Barber Beefcake got out of the Dream Team
Yep.
with him and Greg the Hammer
Hammer
Valentine
Valentine.
and went face by putting him to sleep,
Yep.
or by cutting his hair when Roddy Piper put him to sleep.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, Adrian Adonis was today's wrestler 40 years ago.
Yep. Yeah. That's about right.
Easiest way to put it.
One of the best gimmick wrestlers in wrestling history.
And of course, his manager was the Mouth of South
Not
Africa.
that Sasha Hart.
So on the 16th, we have Kira Hogan.
Kira Hogan.
Kira
Hogan's adopted
former-
daughter.
Yes.
Former Impact Women's Champion, also former Impact Women's Tag Team
Oh,
Champion with
yeah,
Tasha
yeah.
Steelz. She would be
28.
24.
28 years old.
28.
She just looks like a 28-year-old.
Luke, you said that, right?
It's like
Yes.
just okay.
That proves
And then-
right there that Hulk
It's like
Hogan's not racist.
Way to go with all the season.
Hey, look at this!
Better get this right.
Jim Cornette will be 61 years of age.
All right, well, here's the deal.
On the 17th,
What'd you say?
61.
Here's the deal. Jim Cornette will be 61 years old.
Jim Cornette will be 62 years old.
Be 62.
I'm fucking with you.
Mine.
I love how you thought that I was actually going to bid against you on this one.
That is
James.
James
Gotta give you the
E. Cornette. He is the leader of the cult, manager of the greatest tag team in the world, greatest tag team in history, the Midnight Express. Was also the promoter for OVW. Was the the head trainer and promoter for OVW. The head promoter for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Was head of creative for the WWE from 1996 to 1998. Went to TNA. Was the head of creative there until 2007 when he came up in 2005, and again when he came back in 2009. Was also head of creative for Ring of Honor from 2009 to 2011. Did another brief stint over at Impact, and then retired from doing that and went strictly on the road.
Hold on, you got some drool on
Can't help myself. He lives in Louisville, Kentucky, and he doesn't care for most things.
And he welcomes people to the bedroom. Great.
Oh, he was also a commentator. I left that out.
He's done everything there
Damn
is to do.
Skippy he has. He's even wrestled.
I know.
Paulie Dangerous.
All right, are
Yeah,
you
he did.
done?
No? Yes, I'm done.
All right,
Here's another thing about Jay.
let's get into some celebrity birthdays. It's 2-2 going into celebrity birthdays.
All
We
right.
got a couple of handfuls here, so
Let's get it.
let's jump into them.
A couple of
Let's start
handfuls, my nickname in college.
Mine was McNasty for a totally different reason.
Today we have
Oh,
three
no, I know the
birthdays
reason.
today.
Hey!
3 birthdays
That
today.
is,
We're gonna start out with
Harry
Harry
Connick
Connick Jr.
First
I
off,
couldn't even begin to tell you how old.
hell of a singer, even better of an actor, if you ask me. I've always been a big fan of this guy. He also looks like an older version of Simon Rex.
He looks like he could be Jonathan Rhys-Meyers' brother.
Yeah, especially in this picture.
53, because I couldn't tell
I'm
you
gonna
how
say
old.
60.
He will be 55.
Wow,
years old
that was all luck.
today.
All
Don't
luck.
drink, don't
birthday.
smoke.
Happy birthday, sir. Because he's watching too.
Point, Caleb. You better. You're
Well, yeah, he sings all of his songs about us. What are you talking
You
about?
know who's not watching?
Nobody.
Moby. It's also his birthday. But nobody cares.
We put him in the celebrity version of this?
Well, I was kind of forced to. I needed an extra name for the day.
Okay. There's only one Moby we're talking about, and his last name is Dick.
Dick.
I only actually know one song by Moby, and it's not even because I didn't even know it was Moby till here recently. And that's the Green Sally Up, on the soundtrack for Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's actually done by Moby.
61, because I don't have a fucking clue.
He
who that is.
is 60, just don't give a fuck. 63.
He is 57 today.
Okay, great.
Happy
Congratulations. Go fuck
57
yourself.
years of irrelevance. Also, Eminem hates you too.
You know what? I think that's just ludicrous.
Jesus!
I can't fucking stand you.
It's
Luna.
our third birthday for today.
First off, his name's Chris Bridges.
Jeremiah said that Uncle Luca is the best wrestler. He said hi too.
I am the best wrestler.
He's the best wrestler.
I'm the best wrestler.
Better than all the wrestler.
I've got class.
He's got class.
Real
Got
bad.
class.
Rules out.
You rule that ass.
Uncle.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Too sweet, buddy.
All right, Luna.
Luda.
I don't fucking know.
Also
He's-
a big wrestling fan.
He's older than we think he is.
51.
I'm gonna go with an 49.
He is 45.
45, yeah.
Today.
Couldn't fucking tell you.
Also,
He's been
very
around
big wrestling
forever.
fan,
Yeah.
from my understanding.
Well,
This country, it's got all that Southern hospitality.
that's what it is.
Let's see. Tomorrow,
There's the man right there.
Joe Pantolino.
That's a picture from him from the Goonies, isn't it?
That is a picture of him from the Goonies. He's been so many. Awesome
He will
roles.
forever
He
be.
was Titus Sinclair.
Titus Sinclair. He will also forever be the chief in the Bad Boys franchise. For me.
He was.
Everybody wants to be like Mike. Keep messing around, you're gonna be retired like him too.
He was also in The
He
Sopranos.
was in the Matrix.
He actually threw a big fit when
Cyrus.
he threw a big fit when he found out he was being killed off at the Sopranos.
Yeah.
He was in U.S. Marshals.
Yeah.
With
Eddie and the
Tommy
Cruisers.
Jones.
Which was the funniest thing about that, and this is what I always think of, when they stop at a barbecue joint in Murfreesboro, and his line is, think they got that good coleslaw made with the vinegar? Except if you look at the map, because we're from Southern Illinois, if you look at the map, they film it not anywhere near here, but they describe most of the wetlands of Southern Illinois as marshlands.
Yeah.
And that's not even remotely
not
what our
even
geography
close.
is. There is nobody taking fucking airboats through fucking wetlands to get through Southern Illinois,
There-
unless it's like a flood in Cairo. But anyway,
Yeah, our
had to get that off
wetlands
my-
aren't marshes. It's
Or
just,
Main Street,
it's
or,
just
or
fun.
Main Street in Benton.
Anyway, oh man,
Also, failed to remember the fact he was Cypher in the Matrix.
Cypher, yeah.
I said that
Yeah.
he was in the Matrix.
Yeah, his name is Cypher.
Said a bajillion awesome.
God, he's got to be in his 60s, right?
I'm gonna say he's 66.
I'm gonna say a little young. I'll say 60.
How about 71?
No
tomorrow?
shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Still look good for his age, man.
Yeah.
Back up to
Still in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's crazy.
on the 13th.
Well, obviously they were born on the same day.
Tyler Perry. Steve.
Fuck you. I'm guessing. I'm guessing Medea's age. That's how this works.
Good luck. Tyler Perry, well-known cinematographer, well-known playwright, has done a number of wonderful pieces, social commentaries on the black community, as well as several network and station shows. Donates a considerable amount of his proceeds to like inner city neighborhoods to help the black community. Like a bastion of goodness, Christian guy, a family guy, and dresses like a woman.
62.
Pretty par for the course. I don't think 60's quite yet. I'm going to say...
Oh, we're talking about Tyler Perry, not Medea. Okay. 52.
55.
No point again. Tyler Perry will be 53.
Well, he said 52.
That's a 52.
Oh, I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Point Luke.
Yeah.
4 to 3. Also on the 13th.
Fiona Apple.
Oh,
She's a criminal. She's a singer.
That's that's Shrek's wife.
I've been a bad
yeah, no, I know. I
girl.
recognize the
Fiona.
name. I just didn't recognize the face. Fuck, I don't know.
52.
50. Fuck, I don't care.
Fiona Apple will be 45.
She looks 52.
Man, just gotta go listen to
Look
some
at that
Fiona
activity.
Apple. Fucking that'll get you rocked
Her
off.
and Natalie and Bruley and that one bitch named Meredith Brooks.
That'll just... Every day I wake up, I'm like, man, I wonder what Fiona Apple's releasing another song.
About the same time Jewel does.
You know what? She looks as old as a dinosaur. Maybe Sam Neill can help this one.
Jewel, or as I like to call her, Taylor Swift.
Love the Jurassic Park pop there.
Sam Neill. He was also a vampire in Daybreakers.
He was
as well
also
has a bajillion
Yeah.
awesome
Mouth of Madness, Event Horizon, numerous roles.
But most well known
Jurassic
For
Park.
Jurassic Park. As the dinosaur man.
66?
67.
Sam Neill will be 75
Damn.
years old on the 14th.
Damn.
5 to 3.
She's got to be in her 60s.
How old
One
is
more.
Fiona Apple?
What?
How old? Who gives a shit?
45.
One more on the 14th.
That's Mr. Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln. Rick.
It's a dictatorship, bitch.
Rick from The Walking Dead. And he was in
Love Actually.
Love Actually. And I think that's really the only things I can remember him from.
He played Hamlet on the BBC.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
he did. He
Yeah,
was
he hasn't had any real major roles
Except
other
for
than The
Walking Dead, yeah.
Well, and he left The Walking Dead because his wife got pregnant and he wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
That's why he left The
Um,
Walking Dead. He said, "Fuck Carl and that child. I'm going to start a child
Carl?
with somebody else."
Coral. God. 50? I don't know.
Andrew Lincoln, 49 years old.
Andrew Lincoln will be 49
49,
years
yeah.
old.
I didn't have a clue.
6 to 3. On the 15th.
Take you home.
Tom Hardy.
Hey, that's the third Hardy boy.
That's right.
That is third
That's the good one.
That's Bane Hardy.
46?
48.
40s.
48.
He will be 45.
45,
years old.
damn.
No point.
Just missed the mark.
Yeah.
Also on the 15th, we have 2 more.
Mr. Tommy Lee Jones. Another.
Joe's co-star.
Yeah.
Every Saturday night, you'd be like, "Come on, Kay, flush
Flush
me," and I'd be like, "Nah."
The Fugitive.
Of course.
U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals, Men in Black.
Man of the House.
Man of the House.
Space
Oh, Man of the House.
Cowboys.
Space Cowboys, dog.
Oh,
Space Cowboys for days.
How about
Oh my- yeah.
small soldiers?
Small
Small
soldiers.
Soldiers does not get the appreciation and love that it fucking deserves
That
for being
is
so good.
One of the greatest movies, and that came out right at the turn of all the technology and
Yeah.
stuff. So it
You put
Oh my God,
munitions,
freaks
ships, and
people out.
toys.
kind of freaked some people out when it came out. Man.
72.
73.
Tommy Lee Jones will be 76 years old.
Nice.
White Taylor, we got you know.
Does he have enough time to catch up, though?
He's got time. We've got like 5 more.
All right.
5 more. One more on the 15th.
Game on, bitch.
Mentioned him
I
earlier.
love you.
It is John Bradley.
John Bradley, formerly Samuel Tarly of Game of Thrones. He was also
He's
in.
got several other movie roles.
Was it Don't Look Up? There was a movie that came out about a meteor that he was in.
That was
I don't remember if it was
Don't
Don't
Look
Look Up or if it was the other one that came out last year.
I can't remember
Either
which one
way,
it was, but yeah.
I have no idea who that
he's
is.
also going to be coming back to the series Snow, which is the follow-up to Game of Thrones starring Jon Snow.
I have no idea who this is.
Man,
I'm going to just throw out a guess and say 46.
40, because I think he's a little younger. Actually, I'm going to say 35, because I think he's a little younger.
Still no point. He will be 34 years young.
Son of a bitch, I was so close.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a well-enough
Yeah.
guy, I guess.
Oh,
Man, that would have meant that he started Game of Thrones when he was maybe in his, maybe he was like 22 or 23, maybe 24.
Yeah, early
Really young.
mid-twenties.
Really young.
On the 16th, though,
There we go.
That's Randy the Ram.
Randy the Ram. Also was in Iron Man 2 as the evil Russian.
Harley Davidson.
Harley
and
Davidson,
Marlboro
the Marlboro
Man.
Man,
Harley Davidson,
Sin
the Marlboro
City.
Man, with
He was the
all
tattoo
4
artist.
wrestlers.
Yeah, the tattoo artist in the Expendables.
He wasn't just a tattoo
He
artist.
punched Chris Jericho in the mouth.
He did. Have we actually said his real name?
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, I don't think any of us did.
No, we didn't.
I
We
think
called
just
him Randy
started
the
talking about it. Like, it took me a second. I was
I
like,
thought
did we
I did.
actually introduce this fucking guy? Mickey
If
Rourke.
you don't know who that is, why are you watching our show?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You should check out his inside the actor studio. That's not behind the actor studio. Inside the actor
He did a
studio
lot
with
of
James
things
Lipton.
behind the
Oh,
actor.
yes, he did.
So he looks like Steven Tyler, but sober Steven Tyler.
I want my bird.
Terrible.
He's in his 70s, I want to say.
72.
70.
Mickey Rourke will be 70 years old.
All right, we're going for 2 for you. Let's do this.
We got 3 left.
65, 3 left.
65, 3
Bitch.
left.
On the 16th again,
That's Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
You know
Number
she gets
one.
nervous
sorry, we have 2
sometimes.
left, including her.
You know, she gets nervous sometimes. She puts her hands in her armpits and smells them like that. No?
Famous for Saturday Night Live, obviously.
For sticking her hands in her armpits. and
Also,
smelling. Superstar.
stole the show in Santa Claus 2. When she does the embarrassing Santa dance at dinner.
Also,
Christmas
Talladega Nights. I can
Talladega-
feel the vibrations.
Running up my legs. Superstar. She was a stand-up comedian for a long time. She's one of the top Hollywood comedy writers.
She has
of
several
her age.
minor roles in movies and
Yeah.
TV.
She's
But her major credit comes from writing. Her a huge Rolodex of successful comedies that she helped write or co-write.
53.
She's a little older. I would say 54 because I think she's older.
You're right. She will be 58.
Nice.
years
Wow.
old. And that ties it up 6 to
You
6.
would tie it up
With
with Molly
one
Shannon. Fucking people.
Final.
First of all, we both
Birthday. Who's our last birthday, Johnny?
the baby.
Oh,
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly, my queen, my goddess, the love of my life.
Just,
Ugh.
that photo could have stretched a little further.
Okay, obviously Bride of Chucky, but who could forget Liar Liar?
Oh, Forever Liar.
Liar Liar is my favorite Jennifer Tilly movie.
Forever will it forever be Liar Liar.
Wait,
How do you know
105?
that's not his
In
voice?
your bra.
How do you know that's not her husband's voice
You're so
himself?
much better than my husband.
Come on!
I'm the victim here. I was the one driven to the arms of another man. 7. Yeah, whatever. How the hell old is Jennifer Tilly?
60.
Yeah, I actually think that's right up on the mark. 61. Just in case she's a little older.
Caleb steals it. Still 60 years old. Thanks to
Yes,
the
my
Price is
child.
Right game. Caleb, you were awarded like absolutely no points in the tank on that up.
And points don't matter. Just like Jennifer Tilly's tits aren't real, but I want to see them anyway.
Just like her age. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
That's right.
The 80-year-old Jennifer telling me, what up, mama? How you doing, them 80-year-old boobies?
What's up? My name's Caleb. How's your mom?
How's your mama? I'm a child. Please excuse me.
Now I believe
No,
it's
it's okay.
time for a little bit of bullshit.
Do you mean that wasn't the little bit of bullshit?
We have yet
No,
to begin.
no.
Great.
Don't you do it to me. Just kidding. All right, what do we have next?
We don't have bullshit yet.
No, pull up the.
Oh, John Ritter.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
wow.
sorry. I did
The
miss that.
late
I'm
John
sorry.
Ritter passed away the same week Johnny Cash did.
Yep.
In 2003? 2002?
1984 to 2003.
2003. He had just come off,
Problem child.
was a co-star with Jennifer Tilly and Bride of Chucky.
Yes.
Was the, 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage
Where he
Daughter?
died on
Yeah.
set. Here's the deal.
Also, Three's Company, which is what started his career.
Problem child.
Probably
It.
Yeah, it.
He was
He was
Ben
Ben,
in It.
but he got his start on Three's Company.
Oh yeah, Three's
Yeah.
Company was great.
Oh, what a
Also,
life.
for people
living
younger
Janet
than
Christie.
us, a lot of younger people would realize him from Clifford, the Big Red Dog. He was the voice of
The
Clifford
voice of
for
Clifford,
Are you
years
serious?
Yeah.
since we were kids.
Know that?
And here's the cool thing: they did a movie not that long ago for Clifford, the Big Red Dog,
Yeah.
and the voice of Clifford in that was Jason Ritter,
Yeah.
the boy.
Huh.
Yeah,
How about that?
him and Jack Whitehall, which is one of the funniest comedians fucking out there.
Yep.
Yeah, John Ritter, his contributions to not only TV and film, but comedy in a whole.
Yeah.
John Ritter was amazing. Yeah, of course, Three's Company. He's been, 8 Simple Rules was defining TV watching when I was younger.
Him and Katie Seagal.
Yeah, and?
David Spade was in it.
Spade and
Kaylee Cuoco.
That's it, right there,
was one of
Penny.
the daughters.
from Big Bang Theory.
John Ritter's dad, or his character's dad, was oh fuck, I don't remember. Oh, it'll come back. It'll come to me later.
His dad was the guy who played the original Maverick, James Garner.
James Garner, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, go ahead.
I love James Garner. All right, yeah, rest in peace, John Ritter. He was an amazing actor.
Chucky blew him up. No, Chucky stabbed him.
Problem Child, of course, like
Problem
you mentioned,
Child,
Max
yeah.
was great.
Okay. Now,
Melon pies. I haven't had one of these.
are we
in
ready to
years.
put boots on?
Let's put the boots
Put our
on.
boots on.
Put the
I'm
boots
trying
on.
to tread
Well,
through the
right,
bullshit.
Too good. More
right.
bullshit.
Now, I'm gonna read something here for everybody. I came across a very interesting fact that I did not
Did you
know.
clean up afterward?
No, did you know that T-shirts? I try to ignore him as much as possible. No.
I just like how quick he was. As a matter of fact, watch your step, bitch. Clean up afterwards, no. Oh, we're totally filming this on Sunday.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I had come across. Did you know that T-shirt is actually short for Tyrannosaurus shirt
No.
because of the short arms?
That's why they fit you so well, puppy.
All right, folks, keep it in the ring.
All right. Let's.
I need a cigarette. You drive me to smoke.
It's about fall, right? It's almost fall. We're getting there. Getting close to Halloween. Everybody likes their pumpkin spice stuff. I came across a whole new product that you can enjoy in church. Pumpkin spice communion.
That's some spicy bread. It's the body of Christ, you know.
Any thoughts?
We call them Jesus.
several.
We call them Jesus where I'm from. Oh, that's a little stale. That's some stale water. It's not good in my teeth.
Our nephew can hear this.
Stay in school.
Jesus, that fucking got me. Woo. Pumpkin spice communion. Well, there are basic white girls that go to church. Hi, Bethany. I'm so sorry. I'm so, you know I love you. I You teed me up for that one. So how are you? I'm so sorry. Skip this picture.
Her block party's gonna be sponsored by Starbucks now. What's going on?
It's strange things going on in the world. Some pictures. A picture caught from
Sure
the
is.
space telescope. There's a massive drawing of a penis that can be seen from space. Just shows that humanity is never going to change.
Why are they putting that in your bedroom
They got
window,
a
Max?
picture of you?
That wasn't a picture. It was an indention. Max sneezed. It's alive.
Oh, shoot.
First off, here's the deal. Props to the guy who drew the massive penis that can be seen from space.
Bethany
That's
says I
genius.
wouldn't even buy pumpkin spice communion for starters.
Well, you wouldn't. You'd be
Too
eating it.
spicy.
All right.
Yep, everyone's gonna hate us after this over with.
No, they hate us for last week's episode. It's fine.
A reprieve.
Seems like you usually find something about somebody that's being a real asshole.
Don't you fucking look at me.
No, it's not Caleb this time.
This time.
No. Click this next one here, Johnny.
Did you plead it?
No. I came across this story that this
I
woman,
bet.
an unconscious woman, was saved from drowning, and then she sued,
Sued for
the guy that
for and she
rescued
didn't
her.
give him consent
Because-
to touch her.
Because he and no, well, at first it was because she didn't give him consent. They threw that out, so she tried to sue him for not getting there quick enough.
You know what? Next time,
should just let them die.
But
Fuck
the
it.
case was eventually dropped.
Of
Like,
course
he
it
had
was.
spent so much court cost in it to try to get it dropped.
So what you're
And he
saying is it
considered
cost
suing her for that, but it wound
should
up
know.
being
it cost him money to save somebody's life.
Yes.
but it's not a real story, is what you're saying.
No, it is absolutely.
Oh, it is a real story.
Yes.
Also, I would like to point out that in the chat here, someone said helicopter, helicopter, helicopter.
Just pull the cord and let it spin.
Let it fucking eat.
It's like a
Let it eat.
It's like a Beyblade.
Once you go
See.
back, you don't go back.
Other headlines that I've come across.
Just gotta go to the ER.
You're different than before. You're changed. What does this say, Maximus? What do you got for us?
Manatees better stop dying if they better start living if they want to stop dying.
One commissioner's solution to the plight of Florida's hungry manatees.
Kill him.
It's not a very conducive solution.
Now there's apparently just I'll shorten this up.
an
There's
overabundance of manatees.
and they want to kill them off like we do the deer.
Yeah, the manatee population. is
Question:
taking over.
Does manatee taste good like venison does? Because if so, I might be into this.
Want some manatee jerky?
Gonna have some fried manatee.
Gonna have some manatee steaks.
Got some manatee balls. We'll roll them up.
Do manatees have balls?
I don't
I
know.
don't
Do
fucking
flies?
know. Don't start. I don't have the. I don't have the.
Tiny little balls. Tiny ones.
Do they have nipples? Can you milk them?
You
I
can
got
milk
nipples,
anything.
Greg.
You can milk anything with
Milk me.
nipples.
Anyway,
Save the manatees.
I have one more clip here. I came
Oh, for fuck's
across.
sake. Go ahead.
Criminal asked his victim to pinky promise not to tell the cops.
And then he called the cops. What a snitch!
Yeah, right? And doesn't that mean that guy's pinky has to be broken?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
broke a pinky
Right,
promise,
right.
dog.
No, robbery victim told police that the robber made him pinky promise not to call the authorities after he robbed him of like $88 or something.
Well, here's the deal,
At the
though.
convenience store.
He couldn't verbally agree to the fact to pinky promise because he didn't give him the wink in the gun.
Yeah,
Well,
If
true.
you didn't give the wink in
Not
the gun,
the
it doesn't
gun.
count.
At least our criminals are getting more polite. You know, he instead of pointing.
Give me all your fucking money, please. Oh, and pinky promise me you ain't gonna say nothing.
Pinky promise. Pinky promise.
I gotta trust you.
Sir, you're hurting my finger. Sir. Why the hell did he wait around to pinky promise? Because you know when he asked the guy at first, the dude was like, come again? What the fuck did you just say? By that time, the police could have been there unless they were in Southern Illinois. Then he'd have had a week. to
You
get
already
away.
robbed me of my money, and now you wish to rob me of my dignity?
That's messed up.
What a piece
That's
of shit.
messed up. He could have given him a knuckle bump or something.
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 That is all the bullshit that I have for this week.
We'll end on a pinky promise?
No, I don't. All right, guys. Well, normally we would wait around and do the 5 questions about wrestling. However, Doesn't seem to be a whole lot happening in the chat. We appreciate everybody sticking around this week. Now here is the news. Not only are we going to be dropping content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with canned videos starting next Sunday, we are going to a fuller primetime schedule, which means on the days we can start recording at 7:15 are the days we're going to be recording at 7:15. We get the most engagement out of those episodes. We get a lot more watch time out of those episodes. And we will continuously update those time changes if we're not going to be doing it at that time due to like overtime for one of us or work or something, and we got to go back to doing it at 2. That's when we'll start doing it. But next week, starting next week, 7:15 is the regular schedule.
We want to test the idea of how our show works in prime time.
Yeah. So
We've gotten collectively over the last 2 primetime shows, we've gotten almost 1,300 views.
Yep.
We're trying to build the channel. We're trying to get picked up by the algorithm, and the most views and most likes and most comments that we get go towards that algorithm. So
Exactly.
Monday, 7 o'clock. Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Friday, 7 o'clock. And those are canned. Those are not live shows.
We'll be cutting those on the days we record the live show. But it's just something we can drop throughout the week.
Sunday will still be live, interactive.
Yep.
We'll do your questions, except we're going to do it a little later into the nighttime. So that way, people who are at work...
PM, 7:15 p.m. Central Time.
7:15 p.m.
I have one final point to make.
Okay.
Bethany said that she wouldn't buy pumpkin spice communion.
I know, we already said
And
that.
I just want, I know, but I something occurred to me.
Okay.
If you buy communion, it's not really communion, then it's just crackers.
Huh.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Well, that changes my fall completely.
Jesus to everybody.
So keep an eye out on the social media for all of that. Keep an eye out for us dropping the videos. Don't forget to find us over at Facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. You can follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown for all of our merchandise. And from us to you, as always, thanks for tuning in and keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring.